everyone. I am Dr. Vo. Have you ever traveled through your entire life and then wake up one day wondering why you're here on earth? If you are like me, that moment came to me when I was 16 years old. I was wondering, what am I doing here on earth? Who is the person in the mirror? So if you look at the person in the mirror and you're not familiar with that person at all, what does that person do here on earth? Why did this person go to work at this company? And what kind of paycheck is that the person brings home from work? Okay, so it's the goals in life that will come here. We eat, we sleep, we go to work, we get a paycheck, and we repeat every day. And then once we die, we're left out of this life. There's nothing left of us to remember. That's a very sad picture of humanity, isn't it? Okay, so today we're going to look at the journey that we travel through life. I call it the journey from sleep to awake. Okay, so there are very natural processes that we go through in life. So by all means, when you listen to this, assess yourself, see where you are in the stages of development. So we are a very spiritually unrest species, especially at this time of the day, when people misuse God, when people misuse religions for all kind of things, okay? So initially, when you first come into the world, okay, as a sperm, you were the fastest, the strongest, the most resilient. You swam against 500 million other sperm cells to get to your mother eggs. Okay, and then at the point of conception, you become a fetus. For the very first 9 months of your life, all you doing is just the brainstem. The brainstem regulate breathing, emotion, circadian rhythm, sleep and wake cycle, and basically from the second trimester forward, you are start downloading. You are start becoming a lively being. So you downloading information from your mom, okay? So let's say if your mom has a very stressful pregnancy, she have to struggle so hard, maybe she fights, maybe she drinks, maybe she uses drugs or smokes. Here you are, inherited all of that. You know, you immediately downloading this world is a very stressful place to live. People have to fight really hard to live in this life. So you're born into the world. You take your very first shot at the world. The first emotion you feel is anger. You're going to be angry to be expelled from the mother womb, the most comfortable place on earth. And then from that point forward, you are in theta wave. So what is theta wave? Theta wave is the way that the brain experiences when we go to sleep and we have dreams. So it's active dreamings for us, okay? So delta wave is when you go to deep sleep and you are consolidating memory and information. So theta wave is the way that you are constantly incorporating information from the world, you're receiving downloading from the world, and you are basically hypnotic, okay? So the psychologist PHA talked about his research. Children prior to the age of 7 years old does not seem to have logical reasoning. After 7 years old, the neocortex start emerging and then will start becoming a thinking human being, okay? So from the stage of sleep until all the way to adolescence, we're basically a recording mechanism, recording and internalizing our parents, our school, our socio-cultural values and belief system. Okay, so up to adolescence, you are in a sleeping, unconscious programming stage. After adolescence, that's when people start having what is called rebel, because you start thinking for yourself, you start evaluating the downloading program, and you start wondering whether this is for real, what my parents said, whether it has validity in the world. So you start testing value and belief system, and you start asserting your own individuation. Okay, so the very first stage is called the sleep, the unconscious processing, and that can run all the way up to adolescence. And the second stage is called emerging. When you start waking up from your long sleep, you start having what is called cognitive dissonance. When you are unhappy about yourself, maybe you see yourself as a false self. This is not truly who you want to be. This is not truly who you are, because you simply an actor on the stage of life. You're acting whatever the script was telling you. So adolescent and young adulthood, that's where people start coming to therapy. And hopefully when they're not ruining their life with drugs and alcohol, they try to numb themselves because they were so unhappy with the products that they see in the mirror, okay, and they start doing some soul-searching work. So they go into the third stage, which is called self-awareness or metacognition. Metacognition is the ability to examine ourselves, to look at ourselves, and wondering whether we're doing ourselves a service by doing the things we do on a daily basis. Okay, so after the self-awareness, the metacognition during your second decades in life, you start becoming more awakened. Hopefully that is through a lot of soul-searching behaviors, having a lot of wonderful people, teacher, mentor, coaches, therapists in life that guide you to the next stage. So the next stage is called the self-awareness stage. That is the stage when you start becoming awakening. You start becoming deriving meaning and purposes in life. So the third stage of awakening, that's when a lot of people, they start transitioning career, they start changing career. So when I was going through my program, one of my friends that went through the program with me, she was an engineer. She was making six figures. She was surviving, working really well in a male-dominant world, and she decided to walk away from that and go into counseling. So we were jokingly telling her, do you realize that you're going to chop up half of your salary for that? So she said, yeah. No, money is no longer a factor for happiness. So a lot of people start changing careers. A lot of people change in relationship. There's a lot of divorces in the early 30s, okay? So after that soul-searching stage and you found the meaning and purpose for your being here in the world, you start coming to what is called enlightenment, which is a very spiritual, cultivated, enriched time of your life. And usually that happened from 45 forward, 50, 60. Those are the stages when people kind of renewing their relationship with the higher power. During adolescence, most people become very angry at God, or they resist God, or they completely abandon their family faith. And then gradually over time, they start building back their own relationship with the higher power or their relationship with themselves. Okay, so that is the stage for enlightenment. Okay.